Howdy folks, welcome back to Shallow Pockets Acres. Today we took a little walk around, looked at some trees, pruned some stuff, cut some trees out from around other stuff. Thanks for watching. Today you can see a little better the cages where I just planted my 4 chestnuts and my 4 crab apples back here. That's the first chestnut. The second one. Third one on back there. The fourth one here on this side of that wood pile. Crab apple. Crab apple here. Another crab apple back there. And there's the last one I got planted here behind the cabin. And right there is one of my sweet crab apples from Mother Forest. This one here hasn't grew hardly any at all. And this one here, it's not. It has started growing the past year or so. And it's actually growing out through the sides of my chicken wire. I need to get in there and take that chicken wire off of it. I don't know how well you can see this one, but this one's growing too. It's up almost to the top of the chicken wire fencing, which is a little bit of woods left in here between these and what's open at the cabin. Eventually this is going to get cut out. I don't know whether we'll work on that this year yet or not, but I'd like to get this cut out and get some shrubs planted in along on one side of these brush piles or another, just to break it up a little bit. And I'm not sure I think, yeah, this crab apple back here is still living too. There's the gray looking stick here like, but it hasn't grown any since I planted it. And this is the last of the 5 I got from there. But this is a tree I planted, and this is a sprout coming up off of it. It's higher than the original tree that I planted. So it's showing some growth now too. And I was walking around today and I come back here to look at this. What is it? A sheep-nosed apple that looks like it might be dead on me, and I'm not seeing any new buds forming on the grafted part of this tree. But clean down at the bottom, there is some new growth coming. Some new growth coming clean down there at the bottom. The camera ain't wanting to focus in on it. So I may end up trimming this back and growing whatever I can grow from the root stalk that they use to graft this tree, or That is above the graft, so it still may end up being a sheep-nosed apple, but I need to trim it way back here before it gets too far along to maybe help it grow. Okay, this sheep's nose apple I have here, it's dying on me. You can see the color changes as it comes down. I'm going to cut it off right about here. It looks like the rest of that's pretty much the same color, and it's starting to leaf out there. Hopefully that takes care of this tree. Yeah, it's still showing green here in the top. I don't know if you can make it out or not. Hopefully that tree makes it. At least it has a better chance now. The northern spy apple is starting to bud out a little bit. .30-06 crab apple starting to bud out. And this one that I couldn't think of the name of it, it's a crossbow crab apple from northern whitetail crabs. I couldn't find the name on the name tag, but the process of elimination makes this one the crossbow that I ordered that year. It's starting to leaf out pretty good now. And this one here is the drop tine. This one has put on crab apples. It got away with it the first year because I didn't pay enough attention, but I did pull them off later on after apples had formed on it. And I pulled off the blossoms every year since then. And I probably will pull off the blossoms again this year to just let the tree get a better start. It's growing the best out of all of them. And for some reason, I come down here the last time, but the camera didn't record it. This is my other sheep's nose apple from northern whitetail crabs. It hasn't topped out the 4-foot fence yet, but it should this year. Here's where I planted my last crab apple, which is a turning point from Blue Hill Wildlife Nurseries. It's down here where my hazelnut bush and my 3 chestnut trees are. And here's part of the reason why I use these cheaper fence posts, or the right height. Whenever I go to put my smaller cage around trees whenever they get bigger. This pear tree over here, I think it's about ready to blossom in one of the videos, but I think it got frosted out. Because I never did see it turn white, and now it's starting to shoot out leaves. This here's a apple that grandkids brought home from 1 year. It took off last year. I mean, it didn't have a whole lot of growth on it until last year, which it's up over 3 foot now. Luckily, the deer are leaving the tops of it alone, so I ain't gonna put a higher cage around it. This is another cage that needs cleaned out. That tree there's Chinese chestnut from Tai Nursery. And then I got some birch trees in there around it that need chopped out. But it's getting up probably close 5 foot tall. And it's starting to bud out, so maybe I'll just do away with the cage around it and put something, well, I can, as wide as it is at the bottom, but I don't know what I might do. I might just pull the cage off of it and let the deer nibble on them lower branches. Maybe let it grow another year before I do that. Really need to get the birch from around it, but I don't know whether that's in the cards for this year or not. And here's another one from Tai, bigger birch tree in there behind it. The actual chestnuts right there, right here. So this one's up close to 7 foot tall, but I need to get rid of this birch tree in here behind it, and this one over here on the other side of it. And it also wise down there at the bottom, so it's going to be hard to put a smaller cage around it. Unless I wait till next year and trim some of that lower stuff off and then put a smaller cage around it then. And somewhere in here, right here, this one, the plant with the green buds, if you can see them, is one of my hazelnuts in amongst a bunch of birch trees growing around it. And I don't know what's going on with these. I got that one that's growing really good, and these other ones aren't growing hardly at all, but I am going to have to take a day and clean out some of these cages. Got this hazelnut bush cut out today. I think all that's left in there is hazelnuts growing now, so we'll have to wait a couple of weeks and once they leaf out to be sure. But cleaned out this cage with this Tai chestnut, which it's another Tai chestnut cut out. At least we got what's inside the cage cut out. And I may try here to do a weekly or a bi-weekly walk and video, and I don't know if you can see the green coming out through here for sure or not. Got some clover and rye growing, and up until about the beginning of this past week it was growing better than what it is. Some of it dried up and quit growing. Then we got a couple rains overnight the past 2 or 3 nights, and it's starting to come back. I may just come out, walk around through the fruit trees and film this too, just to keep a record of it for myself, and we can see whether me putting the extra lime on here actually helps this year keep stuff growing or not. Thanks for watching.